Questions for Coach?
Did you know before this was going to start that you were going to go to Nebo, and kind of what went into the decision at that time that that was the right place for him to make his debut?
Yeah, he's practiced the last week. Obviously, he got hurt on the first sprint of boot camp, so he missed all sessions of boot camp, and then he missed the first 19 practices. He completed all of his boot camp sessions individually, and then has joined us, I believe, for the last 5 practices, and gotten a feel for our sets, gotten a feel for our ball screen coverage, all of the different things that he missed. So I don't know that I necessarily had it planned when he would play, but he's been practicing and had practice prior to Northwestern, and then has been practicing since then. So he's been able to get consecutive days of practice in, and has continued with each day. We've kind of slowed it down at certain times. Twice we did it before practice. Twice we did it on kind of what we call get better days, where it was a little slow, where he could maybe make up for some of the ground that he missed as far as what he has missed.
Did you feel like it was pretty obvious that there was a little bit of an energy boost from him coming in with the crowd and some of the players, and y'all went on a little run there? Did you like what you saw from him on the court?
Yeah, I thought it was the loudest that Reed has been since I've been here. We appreciate those that did that and that were here. I think everybody wants good players to be on the team, and everybody wants to play with guys that help you win. I thought he gave us great energy. We ran the simplest plays that we have so that he didn't have to overthink. During that stretch where we went on the run, we didn't have a turnover, which helped. Included in that stretch, Nebo was on the floor. We were playing JJ. I don't know if JJ was the point, but he was initiating the 8th grade play that we were running, and we got a shot every time. And many of those possessions that we didn't get a shot, it led to a foul, and that was beneficial. But not turning the ball over. And then I'm not sure how many offensive rebounds they had in that stretch. I know that they played volleyball on the rim a couple of times when E-Man was in for Q, but that also helped. I don't know how many blocks he had, but he had a couple of blocks that were important too.
3.
How big were JJ's threes in the down 36-26? And not just that, then he followed with a couple of free throws as well when he was at the line.
Yeah, he had 5 turnovers in the first game. Save had 4, so we had 9 out of 14 from our 2 primary ball handlers. Tonight, Save had 5, Jay had 1, so we went from 9 to 6, which was good. As a team, we went from 14 to 13, which is good. It was a little bit of a shorter game, so hopefully you have less turnovers in a shorter possession game. I thought in that stretch when JJ was running the point, he did a very good job of making sure that Texas A&M got a shot. I think that Savion and Jay are trying really hard and beginning to understand that as much as we need them to be productive individually, part of their job responsibility is to help make the game easier for the other 3 that are on the floor. And that's a burden that good players carry, and I think that they're trying to execute that in the right way. The 3 right in front of, over here in the corner in front of our bench was off the simple 8th grade play. The 3 over there in front of the bench on the wing, big shot. Dre's shots wouldn't necessarily be called a perfect shot, but they were for sure momentum changers for us. So
Just to make sure on the same page, was finishing boot camp a prerequisite for being able to get out on the court?
That's correct. Not for Nebo, for anybody over the last 13 years. That's how you earn your practice gear, and you can't practice unless you have practice gear. So, and Nebo did great. Can't remember when he got released, but there was kind of a build-up to what the doctors were allowing, what Eddie was able to do with him, what Jax was able to do with him. He had a setback amidst all of that probably in, I guess it was the second week of October, and it kind of zeroed him back out. And then he worked the next 8 or 10 days to get back to the point that he was at. And then he completed all of it by himself, which is harder than doing it with the team.
Seemed like their offense kind of lost its legs late in the game due to your defensive pressure. Were you pleased with the team's performance in that aspect of the game?
I think we're improving defensively. I think the thing that's still hurting us and that we've got to continue to improve on, I'll get the numbers off a bit. The game against Northwestern obviously was a lot faster. I think they missed 48 shots, and they had 19 offensive rebounds. And so they got the ball off their miss 40% of the time, which would be number one in the country, and our defensive rebounding percentage would be last. And then tonight, we forced them over 50% of their shots again were from three. They missed 32 balls and got 11. So the 40% went to whatever that is, 31 and a half. Maybe we can get it in the 20s at some point. I think our positioning has improved dramatically. Savion completely understands it. JJ's the best at it. That was the first rep for Nebo. He's picked it up a little faster than I anticipated. Dre is, when he doesn't reach, is really good on the ball. Q is okay on the ball. He gets lost off the ball. But our positioning has improved. What ends up happening, though, is our first shot field goal percentage is good. But then when we don't finish the possession with a rebound, obviously most of those rebounds are within 10 or 15 feet. And now, like any other team, they shot 41% for the game, and they had 11 offensive rebounds. And this says they scored 9. So 9 of their 57 points were on putbacks. So we've just got to continue to find ways to finish the possession with the rebound, and we have made improvement from Wednesday to Monday, but we've got to continue to improve.
Do you just take the approach, keep winning, and the crowds will come? These are 2 really small crowds to start out the season.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the right answer is to that. Obviously, I've been through this before, and I need to be accountable for whatever I can do to generate support. I think the struggle that I have is if I give time to generating support without trying to sound condescending, it takes a lot of energy to beat Louisiana Monroe. And so I just feel like I need to be more accountable to our kids and to their parents to help us as best I can with my energy to help them win. And if along the way I can find gaps of time to encourage people politely to attend, I probably should do that more. But to some degree, I think that how we handled halftime, being down, and our approach in the second half, I guess I've never been a fan, but I kind of respect how hard our guys work to put ourselves in a position to win. And I think the best businesses are the ones that have return business. So hopefully the people that were here tonight respect what we did, and I'm sure there'll be more people here Friday because of who the opponent is. But to some degree, regardless of who we play, I hope that who we are and how we represent the institution and how we go about our work for people that enjoy watching basketball, that regardless of who we play, they'll attend. But if there was a priority list, I think it's kind of Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. And like Coach McGuire used to say, I read everything, watched everything that was available when he was the coach at Marquette. He would say, when the corners are full, then we're doing the right thing. And in our 5-year tenure at Virginia Tech, that's what ended up happening. We played Maine in year number 4 on November the 11th. Year number 4 would have been 2017 at Virginia Tech, and it was sold out. And that was because there was a crescendo to what we were doing, and people began to appreciate and respect how we went about it. And maybe as time goes, maybe the same thing will happen here. I'm just not real good at begging anybody. I don't like to owe anybody anything, and that's not because I'm the head coach at Texas A&M. That's how I was raised. I don't like to owe anybody anything. And I don't like to beg players to play hard. I don't like to beg players to attend Texas A&M. I just think when you're having to do that, there's some level of fraud to it, and over time, it never works. If you have to beg somebody to come, eventually maybe they put up the white flag and they attend, or beg somebody to recruit and, hey, come on. Those are the ones that typically leave. But the ones that kind of go step by step and the ones that earn it, it doesn't really matter who you are or what your walk of life is. I think when you have to earn it, then it typically works. But when there's some level of let me twist your arm, eventually it doesn't work. You know, I told a kid the other day, look, I'm not recruiting you anymore. I can't recruit you anymore because I feel in my soul that I'm having to twist your arm. And I'm beginning inside to become angry because I think you should have enough wisdom to realize that you should have already made a decision to come here because of the opportunity. So I'm not mad at you that you don't have that wisdom. But the best gift that I can give you is my belief in you. And if I have to twist your arm, then I feel like as the adult that I've kind of skipped a step. And when I get here and I'm coaching you really hard, you will realize that I twisted your arm and you're going to quit. And I don't function very well in that. You can look at the people I've hired. You can look at the people that I've signed, not at Texas A&M, collectively. I think there has to be some level of, I want to be there. I want to be there. I want to wake up early. I want to work. I want to try again. Let me try. And that's because of how I was raised. That's also because of how, and I don't mean this arrogantly, that's how I've progressed in the business. So I don't have an agent. I don't want an agent. I'll write my own contract. I don't want to do a commercial. I don't want somebody to give me a free suit. I don't want anything for free because then I know that I've earned it. And I want our players to feel the same. And I want our coaches to feel the same. I don't want to give anything to anybody. And if anybody needs some tickets, I get a bunch. If you need them, you can DM me on Twitter. You can call Bailey at the office and say, hey, I heard what you said, and I want your seats. I'll give them to you. So if that's the way I'm supposed to help, I will. If I want to pass out donuts and here you can sit up in the bleachers, I'll do that. But I want to pass out donuts at 5 a.m. because that's when I come to work. So I'll meet you at 5. And if you can't get up at 5, then that's okay. Is that a long enough diatribe for the Houston Chronicle? I don't know if it's the right answer. I would say that the chancellor and the president and Ross are probably disappointed in portions of that answer, but that answer is the truth. And I know you guys don't know me other than what Twitter has said, I just try to be transparent. So if you guys could tweet out this, thank you to the military who has given and sacrificed portions of their life and/or their lives, and the families that have allowed them to make those sacrifices so that all of us can do the job we're doing and act like it's really important, when it's not near as important as the people that have fought and served for our freedom to be able to do this. Thank you, guys.